Imagine this, you're a high-powered CEO, sitting in your corner office, overlooking the city skyline, when you spot one of your employees slipping out early again. But what if following him home revealed a secret so heartbreaking it shattered your world and changed everything? Stick around for this incredible true-inspired story that will tug at your heartstrings and leave you inspired. If you love emotional tales like this, hit that like button right now and subscribe to the channel for more stories that remind us of the power of kindness. Let's dive in. Elena Vasquez had built her empire from nothing. As the CEO of Technova, a cutting-edge software company in bustling San Francisco, she was known for her sharp business acumen, her no-nonsense attitude, and her ability to turn failing projects into multi-million-dollar successes. At 45, she was a force, single, childless, and laser-focused on her career. Her days were filled with board meetings, investor calls, and late-night strategy sessions. But lately, something, or rather, someone, had been nagging at the back of her mind. His name was Marcus Reed, a mid-level developer in her engineering team. Marcus was in his early 30s, with tired eyes that always seemed to carry the weight of the world. He'd been with the company for 5 years, reliable at first, but over the past few months, his performance had slipped. Late arrivals, early departures, missed deadlines. Elena had overheard whispers in the office, "He's a single dad, you know. Kids got some issues." She dismissed it initially, everyone had problems, but business was business. Yet, during a routine performance review, she noticed the dark circles under his eyes, the way his hands trembled slightly as he explained his delays. "Family emergencies," he muttered, avoiding her gaze. That evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the office windows in hues of orange and pink, Elena watched from her office as Marcus packed his bag at 4:30 p.m. and hurried out. Something stirred in her, a mix of curiosity and irritation. Why was he always leaving early? Was he moonlighting for a competitor? Stealing company time? On a whim, she grabbed her coat and followed him, keeping a discreet distance in her sleek black SUV. Marcus took the bus across town, oblivious to the tale. Elena parked a block away and trailed him on foot through a rundown neighborhood, where graffiti-covered walls and flickering streetlights told stories of neglect. He entered a shabby apartment building, the kind where paint peeled from the doors and the air smelled of stale cooking. Elena hesitated, her designer heels clicking awkwardly on the cracked sidewalk. What was she doing? This was invasive, unethical even. But she couldn't stop now. She waited outside, peering through a grimy window. Inside, Marcus's one-bedroom apartment was a testament to survival. Clothes hung from makeshift lines, toys scattered on the floor, and a small kitchen table doubled as a desk. But what Elena saw next froze her in place. Marcus wasn't alone. A little boy, no older than 6, lay on a worn couch, his small frame hooked up to an oxygen tank. The child's breaths came in shallow wheezes, his skin pale and clammy. Marcus knelt beside him, gently adjusting the mask over his face. "Hey, buddy, Daddy's home," he whispered, his voice cracking. The boy, Elena would later learn his name was Liam, smiled weakly, reaching out a tiny hand. Elena's heart clenched. She pressed a hand to her mouth to stifle a gasp. This wasn't laziness or disloyalty, this was desperation. She watched as Marcus prepared a simple meal, macaroni from a box, thinned with water to make it last. He fed Liam carefully, telling stories about superheroes who never gave up. But as the night wore on, the reality hit harder. Liam had cystic fibrosis, a genetic disorder that ravaged his lungs and required constant care. Marcus's wife had left 2 years ago, unable to handle the strain, leaving him to juggle doctor visits, medications, and a full-time job. Insurance covered some costs, but not all, the co-pays, the specialized equipment, the home nursing aides he couldn't afford. To make ends meet, Marcus skipped lunches, sold his car, and worked freelance gigs late into the night after Liam fell asleep. Tears blurred Elena's vision as she slipped away, her mind reeling. How had she missed this? In her pursuit of profits and efficiency, she'd overlooked the human element. The next day, she called Marcus into her office, her voice steady but her resolve shaken. "Tell me everything," she said, not as a boss, but as someone who finally saw him. Marcus hesitated, then poured out his story. Liam's diagnosis at birth, the endless hospital stays, the fear of losing his job if he asked for too much flexibility. "I don't want pity, Ms. Vasquez. I just need to provide for my son." Elena listened, her own memories surfacing, her immigrant parents working multiple jobs, sacrificing everything for her education. She'd forgotten that struggle, buried it under layers of success. That shocking discovery broke Elena's heart wide open, but it also ignited a fire. She couldn't just fire him or ignore it, she had to act. First, she arranged for flexible hours and remote work options for Marcus, ensuring his salary remained intact. But she went further. Drawing from her network, she connected him with a specialist who offered pro bono consultations. Technova's HR team fast-tracked a company-wide policy for parental leave and medical support, including subsidies for employees with chronic family illnesses. Yet, challenges mounted. Not everyone in the company agreed. Some executives grumbled about special treatment, fearing it would set a precedent. Elena faced pushback in board meetings, where numbers trumped narratives. "This isn't a charity," one investor snarled. But Elena stood firm, sharing anonymized details of Marcus's story to humanize the issue. "Our people are our greatest asset," she argued. "If we don't support them, we lose everything." Meanwhile, Marcus's world teetered. Liam's condition worsened one night, leading to an emergency hospital rush. Marcus called Elena in a panic, and she arrived at the ER, sitting vigil with him through the long hours. As monitors beeped and doctors conferred, Elena realized this wasn't just about one employee, it was about empathy in a cutthroat world. Liam pulled through, but the scare underscored the fragility of life. Inspired, Elena launched an internal fund, Nova Cares, where employees could donate time or money to help colleagues in need. Marcus became its first beneficiary, receiving aid for a new portable oxygen concentrator and therapy sessions. Slowly, his performance rebounded. With less stress, he innovated on projects, even leading a team to develop an app for tracking chronic illnesses. But the real transformation was in Elena. She started mentoring young single parents in the company, hosting workshops on work-life balance. Her once sterile office now held photos of company picnics and employee families. And Marcus? He and Liam moved to a better apartment, closer to specialists. Liam's laughter echoed in video calls during team meetings, a reminder of why they all worked so hard. One evening, months later, Elena visited their new home, not as a stalker this time, but as a friend. Liam, stronger now, drew her a picture of a superhero CEO saving the day. "You're like Wonder Woman," he said, his eyes bright. Elena hugged him, tears flowing freely. Her heart, once guarded, was open to the vulnerabilities that made life meaningful. As the story comes to a close, remember this: in a world obsessed with success and status, true leadership comes from seeing the struggles behind the smiles. Marcus's resilience and Elena's compassion prove that one act of kindness can ripple into profound change. If this story moved you, smash that like button, it helps us share more tales like this. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an inspiring update. What's your takeaway? Share in the comments below. Until next time, keep your heart open, you never know whose life you might change.